Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn another new topic in Microsoft Excel, that how you can pull data from other worksheet. That is, if you as you can see that there are multiple worksheet here, and if I want to pull data from one worksheet to another, how I can do that. I'm going to tell you the simplest way ever without using any formula. And in my next lectures, I will also tell you how you can use the formulas to pull the data or to get the data of one sheet to from one sheet to another. So I have two sheets, sheet 2 and sheet 3. I am going to play with these two sheets. So what I have to do is, in the sheet 3, what we have is the fruit names, the color of the fruits and the taste. And in sheet 2, we have the fruit names only, and we want to get the color and taste of these fruits from the sheet. How can I pull that data from the sheet 3 that is already having the color and taste of those fruits? For that purpose, what we have to do, we have to go to that sheet in which we want the data to be pulled. For example, if I want to get the color of this fruit, that is apple, from sheet 3, what I will do, I will click here. Then I will press equality sign. Then I'll go to that sheet, that is sheet 3. And then I will click on the cell from which I want to pull the data. So I want to pull the data from this cell. I will click on this, and then I will press enter from my keyboard. So you can see here that the red color is pulled from the sheet 3 against the name apple. So keep this in mind. This way is just, you can say, a manual way of pulling the data from one sheet to another using the sheet name and the cell reference. Now, how using the sheet name and cell reference? If I click on this cell in which I pulled the data and I go to the formula bar, I can see here that it is written sheet 3. Sheet 3 is the name of the sheet from which we pulled the data, and H7 is the address of the cell in which the data was present. So you can see here that this is the address of this cell is H7. This H7 was mentioned in the formula of tab. You can see here that it is mentioned H7 here. This is the cell reference. This sheet 3 is the name of the sheet from which we have pulled the data. So this is how you can pull the data from one sheet to another. If you want this data to be in the same order as in sheet 3, like if you have this data, that is the fruit names, and this data, that these fruits are same in the same order, then you can do what is, you click on this cell, and when it becomes plus sign, you just drag it down, and you can easily see that it has pulled all the data from that sheet, and you need not to give the reference in every cell. Same is the case for the taste. If I press equality sign, then I go to the sheet 3, then I will click on the cell from which I want to pull the data, and then I will just press enter. Here it has got the value of sweet, as it is the same in the sheet 3. I just want this data to copy the data in the rest of the cells as well, because this order is same. So what I will do is I just drag it down, and you can see that it has got all the data, or it has pulled all the data from the sheet 3. So now it has, both the columns are filled with the same data that is in the sheet 3. So keep this in mind. You need not to memorize any formula for this. You just need to select the values that you want to be pulled in. You just need to select the worksheet that you want to pull in. So it means the two important things here are the sheet name and cell reference. So sheet name and cell reference. If I write here, this is 1 and this is 2. These two things are very important. You just know these two things. You need not to memorize these values. You can see here that if I click on this cell and I double click on it, you can see here that sheet 3 is the sheet name that I have mentioned here, and I7 is the cell reference, that is the reference of the cell in which the data is in this sheet 3. And that's it. You just need to press enter. So no formula you need to remember. There is nothing hard in it to pull the data by using the simplest way of using the sheet name and the cell reference. Keep this in mind. If your sheet name is with the space, for example, here my sheet name is with a space. What you have to make sure that the name that here the sheet name should be in single inverted commas. You can see here, like, but if the sheet name is, like, if I change its, if I remove the space, like if I remove the space between the name of the sheet and I press enter, now if I go here, you can see here that the single inverted commas are removed now. It means if the sheet name is with the space, you need the inverted commas, single inverted commas, and if there is no space, then you can write the name as it is. Now keep this in mind. Again, you need not to memorize this, you just need to know that this should be the case. So this is how you can pull the data from one sheet to another using the sheet and cell reference. That's all from today's lecture. We will learn in the next lecture how you can use index and match to pull the data from in one sheet from the other sheet. Thank you.